I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the sunshine. It's not raining.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's brilliant today, isn't it? It's a bit hot though in
Um,
places, but we shouldn't complain.
no, but then we're British, so we do tend to complain at opposite ends, don't we?
So have you just finished? Because I know at 5 o'clock every day you've been doing, is it every day still? You do your
So
dance
it was
session?
every day, but it's now I'm doing Tuesdays and Fridays, and I'm doing you're quite right, my Funky at 5 sessions.
Right. And how many
Um,
people? Have you had lots of people joining in?
yeah, so today was Funky at 5 day 40, which is quite an achievement. I'm really pleased with the way that's gone because when I started, I didn't really know how long I was going to keep it going for. But there still seems to be people kind of jumping on at 5 and watching. And from my perspective, as long as one person is on, then I love what I'm doing. So it's not about huge numbers. It's about whoever is watching benefiting. Um, obviously numbers have dropped a little bit now that kind of restrictions in terms of lockdown have lifted a little bit,
We've gone
and
back to
schools
work
are
as
back.
well, haven't we?
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
people's time is a little bit more protected for them. So I think numbers will start to dwindle, and that's to be expected. I won't take it personally, but equally, I'm quite happy to continue these until we start to resume our new normal, whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me a bit about your business, because you've been going a year now, haven't you?
Yeah, so just over a year, the business turned a year in March. So, typical really, just as we hit a pandemic. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's been going a year. And within that, I've been running street dance classes for kids and adults with the sole purpose of dancing for fun and getting fit at the same time. So there's no exams, no competitions, no big shows.
Mm.
It's really community dance. So all people, all ages. So yeah, those classes, and then dance parties for all occasions. So that could be birthdays for a child or an adult, but also hen parties and things like that, which are always a lot of fun. And then teaching people to dance for their weddings. So I create first dances for people, or I teach couples some moves that they could use if they're kind of feeling creative and want to do it themselves, or I can create a whole routine for them to learn and
Oh,
to
how
join.
lovely. That would be so much
Yes,
fun.
it is a lot of fun, and actually that's the key from it. So the wedding dances is a really good one to look at in terms of it, because people do it because it's a once in a lifetime thing that they're going to do. They want to try something a bit different. Often they don't tell their guests that they're going to do it, so then you've got that wow factor and that surprise moment. And so actually it really encompasses the fun element, because it's not just they want to become dancers. It's like a one-time little moment. So it really is a lot of fun, and often there's a lot of giggles because the majority of people are not dancers who join in. So
Yeah.
things don't always go right the first time, but we just change it and work with the couple.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
it's
been
all
good.
about fun, because you've obviously got fun on the front of your t-shirt. I see a lovely
Absolutely,
shiny
yeah.
new t-shirt there.
Yes, I am sporting the new branded clothing, not just t-shirts, but I've also got caps. Do you want me I would
Oh
put it
yes.
on, but my hair.
No, on.
Well, I'm going to look really silly because I've got a giant bun, but I'll go for the cool, there's the cool street dance look.
Oh.
Put it on like this. Yeah, and then hoodies, look how great these are. I'm
Oh,
very pleased. This
wow.
one's quite big on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really is an opportunity for people to, feel the part of something. So having a branded T-shirt when you're part of a class or an organisation, you just kind of feel a bit more integrated into it, don't you? But also, let's face it, sometimes when we go to a gym or the dance class, I don't know what to wear. I think, oh, should I wear that T-shirt, or what's kind of useful? So I thought, well, let's create some clothing that people can wear, and then they don't have to worry about their wardrobe anymore, because they
Yeah,
can just
definitely.
bring out the hat.
So how's it going online? Because it's going to be a while before you do live classes, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the guidelines are changing all the time. So at the moment, I really can't even guess when we might be back, because even when restrictions are lifted, there's still going to be a lot of measures in place to in terms of kind of big events, and obviously having lots of people in a room together. So yeah, so online is going to be the way forward for certainly the immediate future. And it's going well. The things I'm doing certainly are going well. I made a decision, and I think I mentioned this the last time we chatted. I made a decision that I didn't want to necessarily do what everybody else was doing. I wanted to be different. I wanted to take the pressure off people a little bit, because it's all online. You know, this is great, I get to chat to you, but this is potentially, you know, 4 or 5 video calls of a day, isn't it, for each of us? And so I wanted to kind of slot myself into the world that we're now in a way that people, you didn't feel kind of too pressured by and overwhelmed by. So I'm running my Funky at 5, and as we talked about, that's going well, and I'm enjoying that. It's funny for me because for Facebook Live, certainly, I can't see anybody else. I can see myself. And often, as I discovered this evening, sometimes my mind wanders because I forget that people are watching, and I just forget the moves, or I forget what I'm saying. So it's been a learning curve in terms of teaching online and what that looks like. But I've been enjoying it because I've kept dancing, people keep dancing, and ultimately that's kind of what I want to achieve. But I've also launched a few kind of additional things on the side. So one-to-one sessions. So I've had a few people, young and old, book in with me. So we run a 45-minute session, and it's just me and them. And I teach them some key principles behind dance, a little routine. But again, it's all about having fun. So it's not meant to be, you know, let's create a fantastic routine that they're going to perform in front of everyone. It's more of a personal goal.
Yeah.
So those have been really lovely, because you just
Tell me
see people.
about your parties, because you were saying earlier that you do children's parties.
Yeah, so when I was meeting face to face, I would, you know, run kids and adults parties for birthdays. But obviously that can't happen at the moment because we can't have that many people in a room. And it occurred to me that for an adult, it's a little bit different. You know, it's my birthday at the weekend. We can find ways of celebrating that and kind of feeling okay. But how do you explain to a 7-year-old that they can't celebrate their 8th birthday with their friends? So I've launched virtual dance parties for children over Zoom. So, you know, they set it up with me, and their parents get sent a link, and then they invite their friends. And the parties are full of dance, games, fun, a theme. You know, people can just join in and see their friends on screen, play a few games, learn a dance, and at least feel like they've celebrated in some way.
Yes, yeah. And am I right in saying you do like little fancy dress, little outfits?
Yeah. So,
come on, you know I know.
I know you know, and I was dreading you asking me, Jill. Yeah, so the parties have a theme, and obviously the tricky part is where we can't see each other, or we're not in the same room. There's only so much that I can do in terms of energy and dancing and making it fun. And I thought, if we had a theme, then the music and the games and the dance can be themed around this. But I thought, what if I added a little bit of fancy dressing? So I encourage the children that are coming along to the party to dress up in that theme. Now I want to be wearing my Funk Street t-shirt because I want people to know who I am. But I thought, what about masks? So, you know, for example, here we go. I'm going to look really silly now. But let's say you pick the superhero theme. Then here's the option you get. You now have Super Leila. Looks ridiculous, doesn't it? But hopefully, if you're 8 years old, you're going to look on screen and you're going to laugh, aren't you? Or you're going to smile, and that's going to be
you need
fun.
To be 8 years old.
No, exactly. Even if you're an adult, I have actually got a friend of mine who's booked a party for her 30-something birthday. I won't say any more than that. But it's a lot of fun because dance isn't just for kids. It is for everyone. So yeah, so I've got a few more things arriving in the post. This is my superhero outfit, but I've got a tiara for a prince or princess party, and I've got a pop party, so I've got a hairband with glitter balls on. So
have you got any
Disney,
like where they do the Disney? Have you got any like?
So I've got Minnie Mouse ears arriving.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the idea of the parties is they're not necessarily kind of linked to the themes I suggest. If people have got a theme that they want to follow, then there's always music and games and dances that can be based on that. So,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully that little boy that loves superheroes, or, you know, the older person who, you know, I don't know, the 1920s, Great Gatsby. There's all sorts of things that we can do.
When you're teaching dance,
Mm-hmm.
are there some people that just can't get it? Do you know what I mean? Because I struggle. I go to aerobic classes, or I go to Zumba, and I don't know my left from right, and I'm always the one going in the opposite direction.
Sure. Well, I think the first thing I need to say is that happens to me too. And I've danced professionally for years. It's my career, and sometimes I'm teaching and I say my right and then I do my left, or I just completely forget what I was supposed to do. So that is a really natural thing as a human. And it's not just in dance, you know, we've all done that thing where you walk into a room and you forgot why you were there. So, yeah, but I think it depends on from whose angle are you asking that question from? Because actually, yes, some people aren't able to follow the rhythm quite in the same way that somebody might. Yes, some people might be less coordinated than other people, but actually dance is relative. It's a freestyle. So, okay, ballet, you've got very set positions, but if you're not doing them, you're doing it wrong. But actually, it's about using your body and expressing a feeling or an emotion or a story. And so who's to say what that looks like?
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, but I mean, also our bodies are very good at remembering things when we have them in repetition. So in the dance world, it's called muscle memory. So the more you do a move, the more familiar it feels. And eventually you'll be able to have a conversation. You'll be doing this move because your muscles are beginning to remember the way they engaged and the tension they had. So like all things, it's practice. You know, the more you do it, the better you become. And also, we don't walk down the road the same arm and the same leg. So we are all naturally coordinated because you swing your opposite arm to the leg that's walking. So our bodies have coordination in them. We just need to hone in on it in a little bit of a different way. If you're up for it, I could teach you a little move. How do you feel? I could teach you. It's a really, really easy one that all the cool people are learning at the moment.
Oh wow, I'm gonna be cool, haven't I? I've got a YouTube channel now, so I'm gonna be cool.
Good. And this one you can do sitting down. So I'm going to move my screen just a little bit so that you can see. Now you can do it sitting down, but normally you would do it standing up. Okay. And this move is called the whoa.
So I can be seen.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's called the whoa. It's like one of these kind of crazes that all the kids are doing, all the cool people are doing. If you look for it now, you'll probably see it all over Facebook and things. So you're going to take your right arm and you're going to throw it up, almost like you're throwing a ball. Okay, so throw, good. At the same time, your left hand is going to go the opposite way. So your left hand is going to push down. So you're in this like, whoa, and then you're going to throw the ball and you're going to throw your right arm down, left hand up. So they switch. So we've got it here. 1, 2, 3, switch. And you throw it down. No, that was almost there, almost there. So bring your right arm up, left arm down. Yeah. And then I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and you're going to switch them over. 3, 2, 1, switch. Yeah, there you go. And the whole idea is that it's kind of like this throw catch motion.
I used to dance like that all the time though.
But this is the thing, all of these dance crazes have stemmed from dance forms from, you know, not just years ago, but they follow a pattern, they follow a trend. So, you know, certainly for street dance, this all started in the 70s and the 80s, and it's just evolved over the years. So things like this, you probably have got a move that you think, oh, I used to do that. Like that kind of thing. So there you go.
Funky chicken.
You proved it. Yeah, funky chicken. You got the chicken head.
Oh, how do you do that one where you go like that?
Oh, what way you sway left and right and left. Yeah, you have to kind of imagine you're a snake in that move. That's the best way to think of it. And you kind of lean it that way and then bring it up, and then that way and up. Hey, oh, yeah, you
I
go.
want to move.
Yeah, that's Rachel. You have to be careful with your glasses on there. I've got glasses, and sometimes if I do that move too much, they start to bounce all over the place.
No, I think mine is stuck to my head.
Yeah, but that's the point, 30 seconds, but you're smiling and you're laughing. And actually, that for me is what I want dance to do for people. It's not about getting it spot on. I mean, obviously, I'm also a dancer myself. And so I pride myself on getting those moves right, teaching them well. And it's great to see somebody who has real skill in that area, perfecting those movements. So I do love seeing people get it right. But I don't ever want that to be the kind of the blockage that means somebody doesn't go to a dance class or doesn't dance at their friend's wedding.
If you were teaching, say, a couple their wedding dance, you must get to the point sometimes they really don't get it, and you over and over again, you just sort of, God's sake.
Yeah, sometimes. The dancing, the wedding dances is an interesting one, because obviously I want to make that the experience a really great thing for that couple, because there's going to be a lot of anxiety already around it, because it's their wedding day and they want everything to be perfect, and they also know everybody's going to be watching them. So a lot of the time, if I create a move and we practice it over a few weeks and then they don't get it, then sometimes I just say, you know what, let's not do that one. Let's try this one instead. Or here's a simplified version of that move. And often it does come together because they practice at home. They don't just have the time with me. They go home. I take a video at the end of every rehearsal so that they can go home and watch themselves and learn it. Because it's also very different watching me do the moves. Actually, for them, they're in a couple. So it feels different. It looks different. So yeah, but I mean, I have had a few people over the years, more close friends who, having a giggle with me, who like to play up on the fact, oh, I can't do it, I'll just do this instead. But more often than not, it comes together beautifully, and people do really well.
Yeah. So will you do a wedding dance if you get married?
Oh, that would be terrible.
All your family, everyone would be, she's got to do a special super dance.
Yeah, I sort of feel like people are going to, they'll expect it, won't they? Because I'm a dancer. I mean, I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to scare off any potential future husband by saying, oh yes, we're going to do the dirty dancing.
Unless you meet a fellow dancer, of course.
That would be great, wouldn't it? And then we'll both be fine. Nobody will be afraid. But yeah, I think
room dancing.
Yeah, so I've done a bit of ballroom and salsa and different styles over the years, and I currently do a style of dance for myself called Sarok, which I really love. So that's a partner-based dance, and it's modern jive, so it's got a few influences. So it's got a bit of salsa and a bit of ballroom, and it's a really lovely style. If you've not heard of it, sorry.
Do you teach it?
I don't teach it, no. That's the one that I kind of learned for myself. But obviously, if people want to learn the odd move here or there, then I can create something that looks a little bit like it. But Sarok has its own franchise, and they're absolutely fantastic. So I'm learning a lot from them, which is great.
Yeah,
so,
sounds really good.
Yeah, it's a fun one to do. And it's nice as a dancer running your own business. It is nice to have something that is dancing for you. Because
we're
otherwise
always learning, aren't we? We're always learning. No matter what profession you're in, you're always learning.
Absolutely, and it always helps, doesn't it? Because you learn new skills and they can transfer into what you're doing. But also, I think I'd feel like a bit of a phony talking about dancing for fun and dancing for you if I wasn't doing any dancing for me.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's nice to do the odd bit here and there.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been lovely chatting to you, Leila.
Yeah, you too, Jill.
We'll catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Maybe next time I'll wear my Minnie Mouse ears.
Yeah, I hope so. All right then, take care.